Welcome, welcome. LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. We're going to get started here. We've got some new equipment we're trying to work with here. So this is episode number 385. Moving on into 25. That's going to be the topic of this. So I am Santos. I didn't know if Jim was going to meet me tonight here. Maybe not. I'm going to be here for about 30 minutes. I'm going to do my best to take on your questions. I'm going to do my best to follow an itinerary and see if we can get some wisdom, some confidence, and maybe a step forward. So I'm excited to be here. I need to double check everything. Once again, we're using a little bit of some technology here. So once again, I am Santos here out of Stockton, California. This is PNGZ Cast number 385. And we are live. Today's the 30th of October. 30th of October, 2024. So get in, buckle up, turn down all distractions, grab a pen, and I believe we're live. Grab a pen and join in. We've got a proverb, and we've got a couple of P.O.Is we're going to discuss here. And then we've got a call to action. A call to action. All right. So, okay. So welcome. It looks like, let me see, City by the Bay's with us. Somebody's with us. Shout out to LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. I was thinking about just doing YouTube. There's so much going on. Anyways, a lot's going on. I wanted to change the screen in the background for this broadcast, and I couldn't because I couldn't, for some reason, I was having some technology issues. Anyway, once again, we're here, and I'm hoping, let me double check everything. Again, we're using some technology here, some new little technology. You can see we're trying to make, and I don't, I'm just here in front of you guys, hoping that we can get deeper into the PNGZ zone. You know what I mean? PNGZ zone. Moving on into 25, that's the topic. So, life, power, transformation, and grace. That's what it's all about. Life, power, transformation, and grace. Right? Anyways, let me turn down my volume here because I'm getting a little bit of an echo. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear me on the other side. Check me. I did this before I started, but I want to check it again because you just never know. Moving on. All right, there we go. Got it? Very well. All right. Well, this is episode number 385. I missed you guys last week. I missed you guys last week. I think we're all growing. I think we're all growing on. Anyway, I believe I've got some good sound. I see those of you that are joining in, but I don't know who you are. So we're talking about moving on, and the topic is about moving on into 25 versus staying stuck where you are. It's not a good feeling to stay stuck. It is definitely not a good feeling to feel like you're not going anywhere. We want to let that go as we start moving on into 25. 25 is almost here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, community members, soldiers. 2025 is almost here. What's it look like for you? What's it look like for you? We're going to get into a proverb here, Proverb 2, and then we're going to get into the topic a little bit. We're going to be here for sure. Uh, By the way, we'll talk about what's going on in the back. Good evening, Jim. Uh, Out of time, 24/7. That is the mystery behind these shirts that you see me wearing and that you see behind me. That ALF stands for something. I'm not going to get into it right here. I'll just kind of maybe talk a little bit more about what these T-shirts will do when you put them on. Okay, these are infused T-shirts. This is something space age. This is something like out of the ordinary. Call it an enigma, if you will. But that's what this is all about. And are you out? So hashtag out. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Anyways, moving on into 25. I don't know about you guys, but I want to move on into 25. I definitely want to move on into 25. Proverbs 2, actually Ephesians chapter 2. Can you guys hear me well? I've got some working on, Jim's with us there. Hey, Jim. And I sent out invitations, but I don't know if anybody, I don't know who got them. I don't know who received all the time. Hey, Santos, I remember when you said Happy New Year last year. You said Happy 2025 because the year will go by so fast. Yeah, exactly. In fact, we're already moving into 2026 if you really think about it. 25 is going to go by so fast. Um, is you hear a lot of echo? Okay, let me see if I can turn the echo down a little bit. How's that? Is that better? This is let me see. I hope it's better. All right, let me get into the Ephesians chapter 2 before we get carried away. Anyways, it's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night out here in California. I hope that really you are. I hope you're having a and I hope that you said some prayers this morning. I hope that you said some prayers. Ephesians 2, chapter 2, verse 8 says, man, I better put on my glasses. Yes, I do need more lighting here. A little bit. For by grace, let me see. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. What does that mean? What does that mean? Lest any man should boast. All right. I want to make sure that you guys are hearing me well. So, is it is are you saying my voice is not working well? Is this system not working well? Testing. Because on my end, when I look at the settings and I look at my audio, let me go back here in this. Hello. There we go. We got almost full strength. Okay, turn. Can't turn all the way. I have a little bit of, maybe that's better. How's that? Better or bitter? Anyways, I can sing. Hopefully, I can sing something. All right, moving on. That was a powerful proverb, by the way. And those of you that read the Bible, I encourage you to keep reading the Bible. When you speak close to the mic, it is better, but far away, no good. Okay, so I'm trying. That's gotta be better there. See? How's that? Is that better? I know if I get real close to the microphone, my voice, but I don't want it to be too. I think that's better there. Is that better? Can you hear me good there? Is that good? That's, maybe it's off. All right. Um, POI number one. Anybody got a question, by the way? Anybody? Out of time, Jim, Beauty by the Bay. There's still an echo, but better. Yeah, that's going to get better there. Really? So, in other words, I have to stay close to the microphone. In other words, I have to stay close to the microphone. That's what needs to happen in order for me to be heard very well. Correct? I need to stay close to the microphone. There's got to be a better. There's got to be a better way. I can't hear anybody because nobody's. All fun. Anyways, I got the test. There's still an echo. Well, there's still an echo because is it still echoing now? How's it now? No echo? I turned off the echo unless I do it that way. Let me see. That that how's that? Is that better? Might be a little bit of an echo there. Testing, testing. One, two, three. I'll get this one day. One day in the future. I just got it. It's a new little box. What? All right. Anyhow, that's better? Okay, much better. All righty. All righty, muchachos. Let me make sure that. See something here. What's this? All right, let the bird go. So, what's it mean? What's it mean? Time is evaporating. Time, what's it mean that time is evaporating? Do you even think about time? Are you thinking about time? What does time mean to you? It's pretty amazing how we can just spend our days. The hours go by, and what are we doing? What does it mean that your time is evaporating? Oh, anyone? Well, we know one thing for sure: time is valuable, and time that's gone is hard to get back. Or is it time that's gone, can't get back? We need to find places to stop and think. You need to find places to stop and think. You need to come across channels like this so that you can stop and think. Not to think like me, not to think like anybody else, but to stop and think for yourself where you go. What are you doing with your time? It's evaporating. Anybody got a thought about time evaporation? Is it important? Yeah, yeah, we're gonna die anyway, right? We're gonna perish one day. Yeah, I think my father would have laughed at me if he was still alive because I created his headstone. I actually put his headstone together. I wasn't gonna spend $1,000. Maybe call me cheap. For who? For nobody? You're gonna spend $1,200 or $2,000 on a headstone and nobody's coming to see? No, I created it myself and I put it there a year ago. Still there. If my dad was alive, he would have said, "Where's your stone? You made me one, but where's yours?" Anyways, that's the way my dad would have said. I'm sure he would have thought that. But my father also said, he said one more thing before he passed. He said, "The sin is heavy upon the land." I said, "What did you say?" He said, "Sin is heavy upon the land." He said it in Spanish, though. He said, "El pecado está pesado sobre la tierra." And I thought about what he said, and I thought, well, that's really strange because I've never really been close to my father. The only time we really got close was as he was getting older, came into my life. When he was younger, he was never there. So for me to hear those words like that coming out of my father's mouth were very strange and bizarre. And he's talking about the events that we're witnessing today all around us. People, the attitude of people, the culture, calling evil good, calling good evil, the the flagrant, the monstrosities, demonstrations of what have you on the land that puzzle you like, man, how and even just sometimes when you think about these people that are innocent, some innocent family of 3 or 4, they were just innocent bystanders. They become a choice for some random guy, and he goes on a killing spree, and next thing you know, you've got a family that are all of these things that are happening, and that's why you and I, again, moving on into 25, what are we doing with our time? What are we doing with our time? What are you doing with your time? Time is evaporating. By the way, if you like what you're hearing, if you don't like what you're hearing, tell me. Darn it. No, I'm just joking. But put it in the comments. Somebody got pissed off at me last week. I think it was, "Oh, Santos, you're letting negativity in the comments. We don't like you. We don't like your program, man. We're not going to come back here." Well, that's your problem. I live in the PNGZ. That's not gonna hurt me any. It's not. I feel for you, but if, I'm not perfect. Even with the technology that we've got going on, I gotta do I still need like a moderator, but I'm gonna do the best that I can, okay? So don't bust my chops. There you go. How's this one? All right, somebody's at the door now. Okay, a lot better. Thank you. A lot better. Let me stretch this so it's closer to me and I don't have to keep bending over. Anyways, Alf, these are the t-shirts that you want to be wearing today. By the way, this is to support the mission. If people don't want to support, that's fine. I honestly, sometimes I kind of get the attitude like I don't give a shit either, but I'm still going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to promote. I'm going to do my best to help a few of those that are hungry those that are really, really hungry out there. I'll find them. They're out there, they're hungry. They're gonna take notes. They're gonna come on the broadcast. They're gonna hook up with me. N- Not because it's not because I'm special. It's because they can see that they're special. That's the key. Let me get something real quick. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna see if you guys got any questions. If not, 30 minutes and we're out of here. Anyway, we do have some of the shirts that are coming in. We have some of the shirts that are coming in. So all you got to do is take, you know, this is a pretty cool one here. We've got the PNGZ, the Elf. You know what? The price for these shirts, exactly what I get them for. That's what. Um, so I'm taking orders. I'm taking orders, and you know what? I'm gonna. If anybody's gonna, I'm already buying them. Anyhow, Soldiers of Self Mastery Community, man. I should have put 2016 in there. Why didn't you warn me on that one? This is infused wear. When you put this on, it does something to your psyche, man. See the eagle? There you go. That's the eagle. So we got some couple of shirts we can do. PNG for those of you that are diehards. If you're a diehard, man, you know what? We all fall off the bandwagon. We all fall. We all fall off the bandwagon, but we're moving on into 25. And that's POI number 2. What's the plan with your mind? What is the plan? Are you aware of the mind battle that you're in? Are you aware of it? Do you really understand that trippy? Let me not use the word SHIT. I'll use the word stuff. Trippy stuff, man. Trippy stuff that goes on in your head. Let me, let me get into this. All right. I got to put my headphones on. All right. Here we go. Woo. I know. I'm enjoying my toy here. Anyways, we're just testing the waters with this little box here that we have. Uh, what else does it? What else does it do? Well, let me see. Hey, thank you, thank you. I needed that. Anyways, what's the plan? What's the plan with your mind? The battle, the triggers. Are you aware? Where's Jim? I don't know. He didn't come on the camera today. Jim, Jim didn't come on the camera. Uh, I sent out emails. If someone wants to jump on, we've got a few minutes left here on the program. A few minutes. If you want to come on, you can come on if you're not chicken. Most people today are chicken. They've been eating too much chicken. Yes, they have. Yeah. Too much chicken will make you a chicken. Will grow. Every once in a while, I'll look in the mirror and I got a white feather growing out my neck. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. I do eat chicken, but I try to stay away from Kentucky. All right. So there it is. If you want to come on the show and make fun of me and let me make fun of you, you can come on the camera. So hopefully everything's working with the technology. I'll be practicing a little bit more into the future so that we can have more fun and I can, you know. All right. There we go. All right. So there's Jim. Let's see what Jim has to say. And I got to adjust the volume here. There he is. The one and only. Many
Oh,
people don't know that you're the one and only, Jim.
I don't know. There's someone that looks like me in China, I think.
Yeah, it's a
They got
look. That's all.
picture.
It's a clone, but you're
Yeah.
the one and only, right? The original. It's like somebody said, somebody's been asking me about these shirts. What's that ALF all about, man? What do you I am on the back of your shirt?
It stands for alien life form. I remember there was a show,
Nope, nope,
Alf, over in
nope,
back in the
nope,
1990s.
nope.
There was
Wrong. It does for that program back there with that puppet, but that's not what this is about here.
oh, okay.
This is a whole different story here with Alf, man, and I am. So I'm going to leave people hanging big time. Somebody will come up with what it is. It's kind of a slogan. I think these shirts are because they're kind of an anomaly. People think, oh, we're trying to figure out what is, put it on, see what happens. That's all I got to say. Anyhow, I feel good about wearing mine. And this is not the original. Actually, this is one of the originals, yeah, but those ones are more on the professional level. All right. So, Jim, what's on your mind? Oh, by the way, we've come to the 26-minute mark here. We had Proverbs chapter 2, verses 8 through 9. I'm excited because I'm moving on. Hope you guys are doing the same thing. Time
Oh,
is
yeah.
evaporating. What's the plan? What's going on in your mind? Are you aware? Are you really, really aware of what's going on in your mind? So, what I want to do is, I just want to say this. Those of you that feel that you want to support this mission, you want to get a t shirt, um, you want to, whatever you want to do, you can share, you can comment, you can subscribe. Uh, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to support this mission. Somebody has to pay the bills. I got to get creative, folks. I got to figure out a way, right? I know I'm not gonna. It'd be nice. I said last week if I make $1 million, man, wouldn't that be cool? Just make $1 million off T-shirts, and people are doing that, Jim. People are making millions of dollars now. Wow, what if I did that with these curious T-shirts? Well, you know what? We live in a world of imagination and creativity and acting. We're all actors. We come here and we act. You guys act also. You come here and you act. So I'm going to let Jim share. So we're all act. So you might as well perfect your acting. And as long as you're doing right, get good at your acting. Use your imagination. Move away from the BFL. Anyways, go ahead, Jim. I'm full of water.
Yeah, you talked about moving on. Talk about moving on. Are you moving on towards something or are moving on away from something? What's better? Is it better to go out and move towards something or is it better to move away from something?
Yeah.
Is it better to go out and move on facing your challenges or moving away? I'm not quite sure. I guess it depends upon your goal, you know. I guess you can go out and reflect upon your year and, take an autopsy of your year. That's kind of a harsh way of putting it. Take an autopsy of your year. Reflect, I guess it might be a better way. I mean, we're almost done with the year. I mean, November is right around the corner. And what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we do with our year? That's a good question. And if it didn't go so well, why? Why? I mean, were we moving towards something? Were we moving away from something? How did it work out? Like Dr. Phil says, how's it working for you? I mean, like, think about the people who are on this broadcast. Are you still gambling? Are you gambling more? Are you gambling less? I mean,
Should be gambling less.
yeah, what's going on? I mean, is your life better? I mean, you can go and take an assessment right now. Is it still the same? What's going on? Is our life better since we began 2024? I mean, it's time to go out and start thinking about that right now. Better to start thinking about it right now because 2025, like you said, is coming and we need to go ahead and move on. Are we taking our life seriously? Because if we didn't do anything with our life, if you've been going to this program every week and you don't see any results right now, that's a red flag right there. That's a big red flag. What's going on? You really have to go and think about it. It's like, am I wasting my time? Because I haven't changed. Why haven't I changed? What's going on? Right? A real
I
honest,
haven't changed.
a
That's
real
going to be
honest.
next week. That's going to be the next topic, Jim. I haven't changed.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
No. I'm not quite sure, for those people who might not find so much progress. I mean, I think about the students I teach, and the years ago when I taught freshmen, it's like at the end of the year, it's like, oh my gosh, did I even make a difference with these kids?
Yeah, yeah,
But I tell you, 4 years, 3 years later, it's like, oh my gosh, these kids are graduating. Look at how mature they are. you know it's little by little, right? Step by step, inch by inch, you talk about, right? A little by little, right? So I mean, sometimes we want to go ahead and have progress right away, right? So yeah, I think it's important to go ahead and really assess what's happening. Don't just look at the bad things, look at the positive things that you accomplished this year. Okay, that's something that you need to go ahead and dig deep and try to find, right? Because we have to encourage ourselves. We can't beat ourselves down, like you said. We have to go out and find ways to bring ourselves up, right? So that we can move on to the next year.
yeah, yeah. That was very, very well said. I noticed there's not too much participation in the group. People are coming in and out, and that's fine. That's why I say, well, I figured if Wednesdays is not a good day for us to do the podcast, we'll just kind of go on Sundays. Unfortunately, a lot of people are just falling away. They're just falling. Yeah, I mean, if you fall into gambling, you have to fight. You have to fight against your mind. You have to be willing to fight against your thoughts, against areas of your mind that you'll never fully, completely control. Yet you can manage and move your body in the direction that it needs to go. If you work, when, not if, when you work on it. It's it it's a difficult time it's always a difficult time. When you come into this world as a baby, it's a difficult time. You're crying, right? Man, man, you're demanding. It's a difficult. People see the baby. Oh, how beautiful the baby is, and they're smiley and everything. We don't think about it, but the baby inside is growing. It's tearing. The limbs are stretching. The teeth. I remember my son and my daughter when they were born. I never been through an experience. Maybe I did myself and I forgot all about it, but they were having growing pains. I remember my wife was telling me, yeah, they're having growing pains. I'm like, what in the world are growing pains? Well, we're coming through and we're always going through something. In other words, there's always pain. There's always, ever since we come into the world. It is true. Baby looks beautiful and everything, but deep down inside, and that baby begins to grow, and then it begins to produce an odor. You got to change those diapers all the time. All right, we're gonna come into. Let me see. No questions. No questions. No questions. We do very well, I guess. So Sunday, I may just keep the program on Sundays. I don't know. I don't get too much feedback anymore from people. A little bit, a comment on the videos, but it just seems like to me like people are really struggling. That's the truth. I'm sitting here trying to do the best that I can, but people are really struggling. They're gambling excessive. And you said, Jim, it should be less, if anything. Um, so what results are your results speaking, right? We're looking at the results, POI 3 here, on moving on into 25. You've got some kind of results that are speaking to you. Again, either that or you're just not like paying any attention. I don't know why somebody would even come here if if they wouldn't want to pay attention though. That doesn't make anyhow. What do you say, Jim?
Yeah,
Results.
I
I think
think
results are important.
sometimes I think that people might be in the wrong place. I remember the story about the Vietnam soldiers taking heroin, addicted to heroin, right? And when they come back to the United States, they're not addicted to heroin anymore because they're in a different place, and they don't need that heroin. They don't need that drug. And I'm wondering, how many of these people who come to this show who are struggling are in the wrong place metaphorically. The wrong place meaning to say maybe they have the wrong job, maybe they're with the wrong friends, maybe they're with the wrong family, maybe they're in the wrong distraction. And you know what? They feel that they can't get out. They feel that there's tremendous consequences if they get out of that place. It's scary, it's unknown. So they just stay in that place that keeps them in the addiction, And
Scary.
yeah, I think about yeah, we says like I have to stay here. I have to be here. What's gonna happen if I don't? But I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I'm miserable, and I just stay in this awful loop, trapped. It's like we sometimes I think we trap ourselves because we have a certain mindset that we don't have
Yeah.
any other alternatives. We don't have anywhere else to go.
We trap ourselves. That's another thing. I
and I
have not changed.
right.
That's another POI we can look at, right? We trap ourselves. We're
Yeah,
already getting to the next week topic. We trap ourselves. So we'll look into all this a little bit more. We trap ourselves. We're looking at. So those of you that are here, you already know next week's topic. I have not changed. I have not changed. All right. So the results that we're getting every day, we're getting some results. Some folks, I admit, sometimes I don't like looking at the results. Sometimes the results are like, "Dang, I can work through this." But if you say, well, I'm not going to look at that result, I don't even want to pay attention to that thing. Screw that, man. I'm going to go over here and play. I'm going to go over here and do this and the other thing. I'm not going to use my journal. What do I need my journal for? I tell you, your journal is a very, very powerful life transformational tool, is what it is when you use it.
yeah. I think sometimes I think about standards. I think about like at work. There's great professionals working, and you can't help. I can't help but compare myself. It's like, am I keeping up with this level of people? You know, and I mean, there's a comparison right there, right? And in the mindset of, well, I have to compare because I need to be at this particular level for the students, for
Yeah.
them. I gotta be there, right? It's like and in the mind says, it's like there's a certain standard. And a lot of times we talk about, well, we need to go and compare ourselves, to who we were yesterday.
Hmm.
That's nice, but I mean, there's other people involved. There's other people involved. And, you're taking their time, you're taking their energy, right? So, comparison is a real thing. It's a real thing. And that's something that we all have to go and fight. It's powerful, I tell you. I
Yeah.
mean, we compare ourselves, in this world, in this society, because we're trying to go and fit in. I mean, the world, depends upon people,
Comparison.
and we have to go ahead and set a certain standard, in order to get the things that we want, right?
Yeah.
We have to go ahead and have a level of ability, to help others. And when we feel that we're not meeting those needs of other people, then it's tough, and we're always kind of looking. I guess it's kind of a matter of survival, right? It's a kind of an inherent idea of survival. You know,
Yeah.
how am I
We're
doing?
all in survival to a big degree. We're all in it, and especially in these times that we're in.
Yeah. So I mean, that negative self-talk can go ahead and really get to a person. It's like, look at all my friends. They don't have this kind of problem. They must be much better than me. I'm just no good. That's the kind of self-talk that can go ahead and really bring someone down, because they're seeing their lives, right? They're
Yeah.
seeing what they're providing the world, you know, them not being able to go and pay the bills, you know, their family, in danger of being evicted, from their
Yep.
apartment because
Yep.
of the problems I have. It's like, I'm no good, I'm no good. I might as well just kill myself. I'm better off dead, you know. That's the kind of stuff that's going through people's minds, right? And it's hard. It's like it's hard. So I don't know.
And
I guess
money,
I would say it's a
money,
choice.
money's important. Money's important right now to us in many different ways.
Hmm.
I don't know if we realize how important. I
Yeah.
think when you have money, when you have a little bit of money, some people don't think about it. I heard this the other day. I said somebody said, or I read it in a book. There's three classes of thought. One is the poor people. They work to pay. Uh, or they work to pay the bills. And then you have the middle class, more or less. They work to pay the bills, but they also work to get things: the boat, the mortgage, the jet skis, the Mar-a-Lago with Trump kind of stuff. And then you've got little people, little individuals that they they look at money and they see it as like little soldiers. Like they want to take that little bit that they get, and of course they screw up big time. This class screws up big time because they're risking taking their soldiers and putting them to work. And you have to take losses in order to win, in order to learn, right? There's going to be some losses somewhere in there. However, those losses come, it doesn't have to be financial losses. It could be a partner. You get into a partner and in the business or whatever, you're going to do something. You got the money, but he's gone or he's not in it. So I ask myself, which class of mindset am I thinking these days? You know, because I've had maybe one or two of those mindsets over the years. And today's a different time for all of us. It's a whole different time. So we're moving on. And by the way, we're already, the voting is already going on. They've already determined, somebody's already determined who's going to be the next president. I'm not going to say what I heard, but somebody's already determined that they already know who the next president is. I'm not too sure that that person was correct, but anyhow, how did I where did I go with anyway? Um, legacy mindset. It's going to be a chaotic next couple of weeks. Yeah, and we're already seeing that in the market a little bit. Um, yeah, salute to Santos and Jim. Yeah, we're already, this month is over. Um, I had a good birthday, pretty good birthday. I woke up with a few white hairs, a few whiter hairs. Every time I look in the mirror, I see more. I'm like, man, this just grew overnight. Like amazing. The white hair, you know? I didn't see it in the mirror yesterday. Anyhow, it's a BFL, right? We know what the BFL is. I have to be a little careful too with some of the things that I say because there's a lot of moderating going on with the algorithms and bots on YouTube and Facebook, and that's the reality. Anyways, we're going to be back here on Sunday for sure, unless I fall off the earth. We'll be back here on Sunday at 7:30. We'll talk a little bit more about these topics here we discussed. I have not changed next week's topic. We'll see if Jim, what POI's Jim brings into this one. We trap ourselves and then we fall into comparison. So I do want to thank those of you that have contributed to the mission. Again, we've got T-shirts. You can donate $5, $10. You can do that very easily. You can communicate with us, uh, support the mission, share, subscribe if you're not, leave a comment. And if you don't care, then you don't care. That's that's what it is. I do. I'm going to continue to do what I can because it helps me too. It definitely helps me. So the next 7 days, the challenge is on. 7 days. Take on the challenge of no playing on your phone. No, you know what I'm talking about. None of that stuff. No gaming. 7 days. I work on it. And then the other thing is, I want to leave you with this. What's important to you doesn't concern anybody else. Jim said this earlier. What concerns you doesn't, don't focus on other people. Don't, and we'll talk more about this on the next episode about comparison because that's destructive and it's deadly. That's like the slip, what is it? This the slimy, slippery snake, the triple S. The slimy, slippery snake or snake bite. Anyways. So think about that. Move on into 25. And hopefully I'll see you here at the top next week or this Sunday coming up. Not Sunday, I mean Wednesday. Sunday. There we go. 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jim, your last thoughts?
Yeah.
No, my birthday was on the 17th. The 17th of October. Jim?
Yeah, I guess if you really want to go ahead and figure out if things are not going right, I think it's important to analyze your knowledge, your will, and your belief. You know, I mean, it's like maybe you have the knowledge about how to get out of your addiction. Maybe you know, you have belief in yourself, but maybe your heart isn't in it. Maybe it's something that you don't really desire. Maybe it's something that you don't care about that much. Maybe you're hearing people say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you're comparing yourself. You're thinking, oh, I got to go and make these people happy. Well, what's going to happen if I don't, do what they say, right? But, you don't really care about it, right? What is your knowledge? What's your will? What's your belief? And if you can go and ask yourself those questions, why are things not changing for you, right? Are you missing some of those things? You know, and why don't you have the belief? Why don't you have the desire, right? Really dig deep and find out, you know, because that truth is going to set you free to, like Jim Rohn said, make air, make a, stop errors in judgment, something like that, amend errors, judgment. So, yeah, look at your year, look what happened, be honest with yourself, And that's those tough questions, why haven't I changed? Why haven't I changed? Why have things gotten worse? If things gotten better, praise yourself and say and get excited. I'm moving on to 2025. I'm moving on. I'm going to go ahead and climb a higher mountain. You know, those are the things that we have to go ahead and do moving on to 2025. We have to be ready because it's not going to get any easier. We got to get better.
All right, folks. There you have it. And what do we all think? There you go, Jim. So we're done with the broadcast. If you have a question, I'm going to wait a minute here too, just a minute maybe, and see if we get a question from anyone. Again, we're asking you guys, if you could spare, I think these T-shirts are, like, I get them for, I don't know, $25 or something. I think $25 or $30 with the shipping. And if you'd like to experience wearing one of these shirts, what's the big deal? It's just the shirt. It's feel it, wear it, and own it. You can play the game. Come on, folks, play the game. So support the mission. If you send me an email or something, you say, "Hey, Santos, I want to get a T-shirt." You can send me an email through YouTube, or you can actually go to the soldiersofselfmastery.com there and support the mission. We'll get the order for you because I got to order these directly myself from and then they get shipped directly to you. So support the mission, help out, get a T-shirt. I think they look pretty cool. And you may not even know what you're wearing, but somebody might ask you, "What's that stand for?" I don't know. This guy's making T-shirts and we're all wearing them. We don't even know what it stands for. You might already know what it stands for, right? Maybe you can just give it your own name if you want. Give it your own brand. What is ALF for you? Maybe someday I'll tell what it is, why I created these T-shirts, and what's behind it. This ALF thing. All right, folks. Thank you for the hangout. Learn to swim because the current is strong. There we go. All right, until our next broadcast. Jim, thanks for the hour. Appreciate you. And hopefully you'll have a good night. Hit it hard tomorrow. The books, the results, and what have you. And the rest of you here, out of time. We're out of time. Legacy mindset, race, and who else was here with us? There's a few of you guys, but nobody. Suman Swain. Sir, I'm from India. Please help me. Yes, please help me. I need help too. I'm praying for someone to help me. Oh, City by the Bay. There we go. I'm not sure what kind of help you need. What are you looking for? Uh, what are you looking for? What is it that you're looking for from India? The last person that I spoke to, that I commented, I'm not sure if it was India. I'm not going to say. He was really in trouble. He lost all his money. He didn't know what to do with himself. So he thought that maybe because I'm a compassionate guy and I'm here, I'm always trying to support everybody. Uh, I'm going to pay his rent. I'm going to send him money all the way to India or wherever it was. Well, I wish I could do that. Yeah, I wish, but I don't get enough donations to even try to think about something like that. Anyhow, there you go. I have to loan rupees in gaming. Yeah, buy a book. Oh, by the way, since we're here, we got a few more minutes before the hour is gone. Hold on. Let me share something with you real quick. So we have the T-shirts, orange, black, white. different stuff like that. And I just ordered a shipment of books. All right. These are brand new. These are the latest edition of the new book. It's the latest edition of the new book. It's changed a little bit. People say, "Where can you get your book?" On Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. So there it is. And who knows? Maybe next week, if I get enough people in here. Some ex-gambler will get a copy. I'm gonna send a free copy to somebody, as long as they're in the United States, because I'm not paying $30 for shipping and handling international. Anyhow, all right. Get a journal and start writing about yourself. Assess the situation. Same problem, any culture. All right, my friend Suman Swain. You know what? I pray for you that you could make a decision and get creative and figure out what's going on, because even if somebody gave you money, that's not going to fix your problem. That's just a temporary band-aid. You need to really find out where it's at. Come again, join here, be a part of this, get smarter, get wiser, get stronger. All right? All right, Jim. And exactly. See, that's why I tell people, look, when you put on one of my t-shirts, you're gonna, it's like you're gonna, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here preaching to you. Right there on your shoulder, preaching to you. Every day, hour by hour. All right, I gotta get off the airwaves. I'm having too much fun. Jim, we'll see you next Wednesday. Next Sunday. Yeah. All right. Jim, what do you say here? Look at that. I know what's going on here. This person is definitely um he's having fun. He's having, he's getting his little he's getting his what, 5 minutes of fame here with us. 5 minutes of fame. Yeah. Come again. I must go. All right, everyone. Until our next broadcast, this was number 385. 386 coming up, Lord will. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye, Jim.